Let's do it. All right. All right, Mr. Jerri Shepard from 704. Thank you, sir, for coming on the show. How are you?
Good. You, man?
Man, I'm doing okay. Dude, I don't think I've seen you, honestly, in probably, 23 years?
Yeah, it had to be, late 90s, definitely.
I don't think I've seen you because you graduated in
99?
99 from North, right?
Yep.
And I graduated in 98, so I don't think I've seen you since then.
Yeah, man. I left Statesville in 2001. My parents and brother, they still live there, so I come to visit them occasionally. But like people from back home, I keep with Facebook and Instagram, I keep up with everybody through that medium.
Before I reached out to you to come on to the show, I swear I saw you. I don't know where your parents live or where you grew up. I don't know if you're in town or not, but there was a dude in somebody's yard with a dog that looked just like you wearing a toboggan. And I straight up just yelled at him when I was walking, Jerri, Jerri. And he looked at me like I had three heads, but I'm assuming it wasn't you.
It probably wasn't. It was probably my brother. We look exactly alike.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well,
so even people here in Charlotte call my brother's name, and I look at them like they got three heads. So it was probably him. And he has a dog, too. So.
If they live off East Broad Street somewhere, it's probably them.
Okay. No, I didn't live there. But he's always walking the dog and taking the dog places. So probably.
Right. Well, if I see him again, I'll just yell Jerri, and eventually maybe it'll be you or whatever.
Deal.
But no, man, I wanted to ask you to come on the show, and thanks, because I know you're a busy guy. I didn't really even learn that you and I think two college roommates, right? So the three of you started an incredibly successful, it's not even a t-shirt line. Maybe that's how it started, but you have a successful clothing line, correct?
That's correct, man. Me and two other guys from college started a clothing line. Started with t-shirts.
Yeah.
In about end of 2012, 2013. Through patience and grinding, man, we grew it into something great.
So how did you guys, everyone, especially I think our age, has had the inspiration to either start a t-shirt company or a clothing company. But what was it that you guys felt that made you push forward and actually, because a lot of people have ideas, right? And we're going to do something, we're going to do it. And then never push through. What was it that got you guys, you know what, we've got something here, and you pushed through?
I think my team is really strong, and even though one person might be down, the other person will pick it up and try to keep everybody on track to the same goal. I think at the beginning it was just about selling t-shirts, but people don't buy products based on the product itself. They buy products based on the people behind the company. And we figured that out. So we changed kind of our mindset to be more about people and meeting people and making new friends and building interactions. So like literally when we used to do pop-ups, we learned everybody's name and their family's names that came and supported us. I think it just grew from that.
So you guys started, obviously you've got how many stores do you guys have now?
We have one main one, and then the online store is where we started.
And where is your main store located?
South End. We tell people, most people know where Price's Chicken is, and we're like 3 doors down from Price's Chicken in South End.
I gotcha. Were you guys ever in the airport?
We had our product in the airport.
Okay, because I do a lot of traveling for work, and I have seen your product, and I saw the 704 before I knew it was you, and I thought, that is genius.
Yeah, that was us. We still had those relationships, but it's trying to get product in the airport is kind of tough with all the regulations and stuff.
Right.
But we still had a relationship, and we're still exploring that one. But yeah, it was us.
Dude, that's awesome. I had no clue. I spent a lot of time in the Charlotte airport. So how did you guys, were you selling out of the trunks of your cars? How did you first get people to start buying your product? How did you present it to them? Was it an online store? Were you doing eBay, or how did that work?
The first time we did a GoFundMe account, right? Because we didn't have the capital to really build a business. And that failed. And then right about, I'd say 2015, 2014, pop-up shops were a big thing, right? You go to a market, you set up a booth, and people can come and check out your product. So we started doing that. We were really the first apparel line here in Charlotte doing that. So people were really gravitating toward us, and that's how we really started.
Wow. So you guys were actually an original at starting something in the
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte area. There's not a lot
Yeah,
of
man.
people that can say that, man. I mean, you're not the first person to make a T-shirt, but the first person to take that T-shirt, or first business to take that T-shirt idea and then have this little pop-up thing like a grassroots movement. You're in front of people.
Correct. That's the key, right? Because we can't have a business without people. And the pop-up scene was growing, and they wanted traffic, and we were trying to get traffic, and it kind of all came together at one time.
You know, and even during that time that you guys started the company, a lot of startup companies didn't succeed during that point because of the stuff that was going on economics-wise. So you guys were, I don't know, not under the gun or under the, you know, but fighting an uphill battle, so to speak,
Yeah.
of startup companies during that time.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, this wasn't our first go at a company. We did a record label for a little bit.
Did you really?
Yeah, we were us three, same three people. We had a record label. My other two business partners rapped. I did kind of the sound engineering and video stuff, which I still do the video stuff. But I think you try to find your niche, and we came across the apparel line. But I think having that older business helped us work together and work through things.
Oh man, you must have made contacts through even the music business and whatnot that helped with your apparel line, plus creativity.
Oh yeah, creativity has always been a big thing for us as business owners. We always try to think outside the box.
So what is it, because the three of you, obviously you guys have a chemistry and a magic that's obviously working. What is it that like with any successful business and team, what is it that you bring to the team that helps you guys excel?
Well, you say that we are successful, as business partners, but at the beginning, right, it was tough because we were trying to figure out our lanes, and you try not to overstep other people's lanes. And through the years, we've learned where we all excel at. In this business, I do the video creativity piece. I do the customer service, client fulfillment. I do, taxes because I'm a math guy. So we signed me up for that.
Quick.
Yeah, exactly. But my other business partners bring me in on the apparel creativity or on the growing the business, because that's what my other business partners did.
So how do you guys sit down and come up with a different T-shirt style concept of a logo, or is there someone who draws on your team, or how does that kind of work?
Yeah, so the main guy, Scott, he designs pretty much all of our apparel. He's really into clothes. He's really into shoes. He's really into knowing what a customer wants when they buy a product. So, he'll design something, and literally we have a text thread between the three of us, and he'll send us a picture or text us an idea, and we'll just bounce the idea off of each other. Now, the rule is 2/3 rules. So if 2 out of the 3 like it, we're going to go with it. But we understand that we all are going to like the same thing. Right. But it's pretty cool.
Is there a shirt out there or a design or something that you just was like, oh, this is awesome, that got squashed, that you're going to bring back? You're not letting it go. Man. You're like, Jerri, let it go. You're like, I can't.
Let me think through the archive. Off the top of my head, I don't. We've been pretty blessed through, the process of idea and really talking through things before releasing them that we haven't.
Yep.
Let me think. I got one on the tip of my tongue here. What is it? So we did a 980 shirt because we got so many emails and so many messages about when you're going to do a 980 shirt. So we did it. We thought it was an awesome design.
Yeah.
We put it out, and maybe like 2 people bought it. So it was like, okay, we're gonna stick to the original 704. That's the original area code. Sorry, 980ers. You're probably, younger, way younger than we are if you have a 980 number at this point. So that's something that, not that we're trying to bring it back, but it comes up every once in a while.
So how did you guys settle on the name 704?
So the main business partner, Scott, moved from Charlotte to Pittsburgh, and there's a lot of apparel brands there that represent Pittsburgh heavy. And he called me up. He was like, Jerry, man, we got to do an apparel line back at home. I'm like, okay, because, we best friends. So I was like, all right, let's do it. Let's figure it out. And he thought, the name should be the area code. And then shop, just because we want people to come and interact and be a part of something bigger.
Right.
So 704 Shop, that was the name. The design, his brother-in-law actually did it. And
That
I think it was
704
just...
logo is awesome, man.
Appreciate it.
I love it. For people who at home, if you haven't checked these guys out, look them up on Facebook and Instagram, and we'll put all the description stuff in the description here of the show. But the logo is, if you read it upside down, it's 704. If you're looking at it, 704. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat.
And we just kind of fell into that. We didn't even realize it until after the design was done. And now when people see it, people still don't recognize it. But it's always a cool conversation piece that people are like, oh, wow, we did not even realize that. So, yeah, things kind of just work out how they're going to work out. So,
dude, that's awesome.
Appreciate it, man.
So you guys started 2012. You started gaining some momentum. Mm-hmm. And then for those who were going to check you out on Instagram and Facebook and your website, how did you guys get teamed up working with the sports teams in Charlotte? You got stuff with Steve Smith. I saw old Coach Ron Rivera wearing the shirt. Like, yeah. Dude, how'd that happen?
I think it's a process, man. I think, we've been in business for a while. People at that stage or that level really want to work with people that have put in the work, because at the end of the day, they put in the work to get to where they are. So they're really particular about who they do business with. And, through building connections, we got connected with Steve Smith and Rivera and all those people just by, at the beginning, right? Like you talked about it, building relationships with people in the community. And at some point, you're going to cross paths with somebody that knows somebody and that they love your product and will vouch for you to that other person.
How do you guys, we have a mutual friend, Kevin, he has State's Famous Clothing and stuff like that. How do you pick the actual t-shirt itself that you put your stuff on? Like, I can only imagine if I was a t-shirt guy and I was starting a company, I would be filling hundreds, if not thousands of fabrics, trying to find that perfect blend or whatever it is, where it's right. Like, oh, this is, it feels like new money, baby. God, this is it.
This is it.
This is it. This is the winner.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my other business partners is really big into the fabric, so it is a process. When we started, man, we were printing on, at the beginning, we were printing on anything we could get our hands on at an affordable cost. Sure. But then at some point, when you peel back the layers, you need to sit back and say, okay, what's going to make people say, okay, this is really different than the other apparel lines out there. This is really different than what I'm going to go buy at Walmart or Target, and I'm going to spend that extra few dollars to get it. It's not going to be a case where it's going to shrink on me. It's not going to be a case where the print is going to crack and you got to go buy another one. So we put really a lot of time into the feel of the fabric and how it reacts to ink print and all of that. So it's really a process when you first start, man, knowing what works.
There's a science behind this.
Yes, definitely, man, definitely. And I've been lucky to work with, Scott and Chris, and they are really big into the apparel and clothing lines, knowing what's out there, what they're printing on. And we even buy products from like main companies so we can see what they're doing. Yeah. So at the end of the day, you have a goal to get to. You want to be like that. The only way to do it is, okay, let me spend a few dollars so I can see what they're doing and really dissect what they're doing so we can use it in our business.
It's probably a lot of, what would you say one of the biggest mistakes you guys made early on that you learned from when starting this business?
That it's more than just selling a t-shirt. I mean, at the beginning, we were just we said, oh, this is awesome, man. We know people going to buy this, and nobody bought it. And then we had to start building relationships with people, man. I think with any business at the beginning, you're going to fail. How do you pivot? How do you figure it out? And what worked for us was just making friends and making interaction with people that were going to support us. And like literally every time they come to a pop-up, we know who they were, what kind of fabric they like. I joke with one of my customers, like, he only wears a poly cotton. Uh-huh. And we were doing tri-blend. So he would send me a message like, hey, is this poly cotton or tri-blend? Man, I'm thinking of you, man. I know you like the poly cotton. We got some coming. it's just the little details that we pick up on customers, what they like, what they don't like, and being able to speak to them and knowing them by name.
There's got to be a sweet spot too when it comes to inventory, right? Ordering too much of a product could, if it sits on the shelf and it's not moving, that's not good. So how do y'all find the right balance of the right number of shirts to order? There has to be some sort of method to the madness, right?
You try to figure out the madness, and then you try to stick to that plan, and you don't sell out. So then you're left with inventory. So we have kind of a science what we do, but it's not like I can tell you, okay, this is the math equation. You put in this many extra larges to extra smalls, and you're guaranteed to sell out. Right. We don't sell out of everything. We've been blessed and lucky to do well on all of our products, but we built a demand for the product, right? So today we released a soccer shirt. We sold out within like an hour, and we're still getting emails. But our thing is we're always going to release something new. So you might have missed out now, but sign up for our mailing list so you'll know what we're going to release next, and you'll be the first to know, and you won't have this problem again of missing out. So we kind of built the demand there.
So talk about a little bit about the soccer shirt you guys released. It was today, right?
Yep.
It was today because you guys
yesterday.
Because you had a promotional video yesterday.
Yep.
Which was awesome, by the way. Did you do that?
I did. Me and my team. I do a video with Jonathan, and we got a 704 media we're trying to build. So yeah, we did the one from yesterday and the one from 2 days ago. Yeah,
the kid, I don't know if that was a kid or a young adult kicking that soccer ball down the field and then seeing the skyline of Charlotte. Was that sunset maybe or sunrise? I don't know, but
sunrise.
It was
5 o'clock in the morning, my friend.
How far?
5 o'clock in the morning.
See, that's that grind we're telling people about. You don't come easy, baby.
It sure doesn't, man. You got to put it in, but it's well worth it.
But I think that's awesome that you guys are not only, creative with your T-shirt designs and stuff like that and your hats, but you're also involved in the video creativity, and you're obviously trying to take what you're doing now and the success of that and take it over here, like you said, this media company or whatever it is you guys are trying to do. But I thought that video was super cool. I was like, ooh, well done. Who did that? And of course,
Jerri.
Yeah.
That was us, man. And I got my drone license, so I try to fly the drone every once in a while.
Hey, how hard was it to get a drone license?
It's not hard. You got to study.
Do you really?
First you got to study for it. Because they ask you aeronautical questions and like wind direction. Like the first time you take the exam, it's tough. And the only reason I took it was because one of my friends wanted me to film their wedding, and literally I took it like a week before their wedding so I could fly the drone.
I got you.
Yeah, it's tough. I've had it for about 3-4 years now.
So, for when the soccer team comes to Charlotte, right? When there's a sports team coming, do you guys automatically have a contact, or do you have to start grinding and trying to, I don't want to say beat out other folks, but other clothing apparel companies so you can have that Charlotte City Soccer Club shirt or the Charlotte Knights or?
Yeah, I think we got lucky with MLS, right? Because the person that does, and I might be wrong, and this is my business partner's lane, but the person that does the advertising or the marketing for the Carolina Panthers also does it for MLS.
Oh, okay.
So they really reached out to us and wanted to find out how we can partner together. Oh, so again, it's building relationships that people trust and know your product and know that it'll do well.
Yeah, man, it's always good to know people, right? Mm-hmm. And but it's also good to know that the people know that you're loyal, good folks. You got the right motivation too. You're doing good stuff for the community. Yeah, I noticed too on your website there was something called what is it, for the city, for the culture? Was that almost like a tagline or something?
For the city, for the culture, yeah.
Yeah. And you guys have a who's the guy? I saw it on there. He's working with you guys. He's done some stuff with Nike and like maybe Netflix or something.
One of the actors in there.
I don't know if was he an actor or was he like a designer or something? Maybe he was an actor.
In the video?
No, he was wearing a shirt. Gosh, I don't know. Let me see.
Was it on the main page?
I think I may have actually saw it on your Instagram. Maybe.
Let me go out there.
You're gonna be like, oh, that guy, yeah. He let's see.
I think I probably know who you're talking about, but I just want to make sure.
Matt Steven?
Matt Stevens, yes.
Yeah, he's a
He
designer. Yeah.
he's a designer. He's designed for Nike, Adidas, and those companies. So, but he's from Charlotte.
But he is from Charlotte.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
crap. Okay, so has he collaborated with you guys on some stuff, or he just is a
Yeah.
fan of your clothes?
He started as a fan, um, and we've done some collaborations with him. So he designed. We did a Matt Stevens collection for football season. He's designed like chicken and gasoline for us. He designed, I mean, there's a lot of things he designed for us, and he's going to be doing a lot more for us. He's very particular when he works with people, apparel lines. So, we were fortunate enough that he saw what we were about and that he was willing to do it for us. So yeah, we tag him every once in a while to design something if we just can't get it right.
Right. That's
Yeah.
that's so neat. And I wouldn't, it's good to also know that there's another person in the Charlotte area from Charlotte, doing big things, man.
Oh yeah. He's good people's man, and that's why we did the collection, because we like what he's about, and we like his work, and we know that people should know more about designers around where they live.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, it was great.
What's been the number one selling piece of apparel for you guys?
I want to say our logo tees when we release them, because we don't do it often.
Mm-hmm.
But when we do, they go fast. But I think that's just what we've built here, in Charlotte, where people know that we're not going to release it that often. But when we do, it's get it now, or you may not be able to get it down the road. But yeah, I think our logo tees, which is awesome.
So that if folks want to buy any of the stuff that we've talked about, they can just go to your website, right?
Yeah, they can go to 704shop.com. And if you don't see something, you see something sold out, believe me, we always are releasing new product. We send a newsletter out. It used to be every Friday, but now we're really focused on changing it up and doing more custom apparel. So not just t-shirts. We're going to do custom sweatshirts, custom shorts, we're working on some tennis shoes.
Oh, really?
We got socks. I mean, yeah, man, like I tell everybody, we started with shirts because we needed to build a foundation. Now we have a foundation. Now we have relationships and ways of doing different things. Now we can really do custom stuff that you're not going to find at, Target or Walmart. It's like really we pay attention to every bit of detail on it.
Oh, man. I might have to have you come back, because I want to learn about how do you make some shoes?
It's a process, man. I mean, if you go to let me think. I'm not even going to give it out right now. Okay. We'll come back when we release the shoes. If we can work that out, and we'll talk through it.
There was because you think everybody wears shoes, and most people, well, can't say most, some people aren't fortunate to have even a good pair of tennis shoes. Right. And actually a friend of mine started a nonprofit organization there in Charlotte called Good Souls, to where he's helping all the homeless men and women in the Charlotte area. And now he's branched up here to Statesville too at Fifth Street Ministries. But these guys and gals get cleaned up from drugs and whatnot, and they go to a job interview, and most of these are blue collar, work with your hands type of job, manual labor, and they require steel toe boots. So they've gotten clean, they've gotten to a job interview, they get the job, but they don't have steel toe boots. So they lose that job opportunity. So what he likes to say is he's creating opportunities. So he's donated, I think, over 3,000 to 4,000 pairs of steel toe boots in the greater Charlotte area, and getting these folks the opportunity to actually now go get a job. And we've helped out a little bit with some of that too.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, send me that information too, man.
Yeah, I'll shoot it to you. He's a great dude, man. You'll like him a lot. I was noticing too on y'all's website something. You do something like Fun Fact Friday or something like that.
Yep, that's my other business partner. He does the Fun Fact Friday.
Yeah,
and we've got a lot of feedback that people learn really a lot. That even people from Charlotte learn things that they didn't even really know about. And we've been doing that for almost a year now.
Yeah, that was really neat, man. what was I wouldn't expect, obviously I wasn't expecting to see that on a clothing apparel website. So I looked at it and I was like, oh wow. So you start, navigating through stuff you don't even realize. Uh,
Right.
some of the own history that's in, still in Statesville, but in the backyard. What was
Yep.
one of the things, have you read through them like that you were just shocked about, the Fun Fact Friday stuff?
Oh Jesus, man. There's so many, man. Like, I mean, oh man. See, you should have told me about this. I could have had you something right, prepared. Um,
Hey man, if I
I
saw
know,
you in a
man.
bar, you wouldn't be prepared for this question either.
See, look, I'll leave it at this. There's a lot of great information on those Fact Fridays. If you want to learn a little bit more about, where you live here in Charlotte around or surrounding, because we don't just cover Charlotte, some surrounding areas as well.
Right.
You gotta flip through the Fact Friday. My business partner, Chris Moxley, takes the time and effort to write up those Fact Fridays, and he enjoys doing that and educating others. So if you have the time, I just recommend just click on a couple and read them to learn it, and you will be surprised.
That's right, and snag it while you're waiting to check out for your T-shirt or hat. Have some Fun Fact Friday.
That's right. Just tag it, look through them while you're about to hit that submit button for your purchase.
So, Jerry, you went to college, but you didn't probably start out thinking you're going to be in the clothing apparel business. What did you major in?
So after high school, I went to Mitchell. My parents were educators, so that was the route. You're going to.
Can I tell you a funny story real quick?
What's up?
Stop you. So your dad was my guidance counselor.
Okay. Yep.
At NB Mills for a little while. Okay, and he taught me sex ed.
Oh God.
And I can remember being in the 5th grade and your dad up on the board drawing anatomy and having the conversation. And I remember I was not a sheltered child, so I understood what was going on up there. And but then he opened it up to open questions for folks.
Oh,
and,
that was a mistake.
I thought to myself, who has the audacity to ask Mr. Shepard, what is a sandwich? And if you run a train, who gets her pregnant? And I thought to myself, we are 10. Who is asking this grown adult teacher these questions? What are y'all? What is going on?
What's the world coming to?
Yes, this was 1990.
The thing is, he didn't have that conversation with me. What's going on here?
I don't remember his answers, but I just remember being embarrassed for him. But I'll never forget your dad teaching me about the birds and the bees, man.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to get on about that. He ain't tell me about that. I'm gonna have to bring that story up when I go home.
Yeah, enjoy.
So as you know, they're educators, and that was the route that I was going to take. I went to Mitchell for a couple of years, transferred out of there, went to UNC Charlotte. Still really didn't know what I was going to do, but education was the thing because that's what I knew growing up. So what was it, about 2004? I didn't finish. I left because I've done so many jobs, man. I've taught dance class. I taught hip hop. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Never danced a day in my life when I was growing up. But when I went to college,
I don't remember you dancing, Jerry.
No, man, no. But when I went to college, I went out with my friends, and it was just I could dance. Yeah. So then my best friend that I'm in the business with, his other best friend, went to Elon where he did theater and dance, and he was leaving and moving to New York. So he tagged me. He was like, "Man, you know what? You can dance. I need for you to take over my hip hop class." So I'm like, "Okay." He said, "Just come to the class. I'm gonna teach you some things, and then you just take it over." So that's how I got into that. Yeah. I don't know, but that's how I started teaching hip hop class. So when I bring that up to people, they'd be like, "You did what?" Because they always knew I was an athlete and I played in the band and things like that. But then after I did that for about 4 or 5 years, I started corporate America, right? So I worked for Bank of America, and I've been with them now for 15 years.
So you still work in the banking industry?
Yeah, I'm still in banking, man.
So you wearing 2 hats. You're running a company and working in banking.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that third hat too because I got 2 kids and I'm married.
Well, sounds like you're a dancer.
So yeah, man, I think, and then in 2012, I went back to Mitchell to finish my undergrad because I didn't do that. And then I transferred out, went back to UNC Charlotte, got my mathematics degree. And then, that was the goal, just to get a degree so I could advance my career in Bank of America. But this kind of, the apparel thing happened because a friend called me up.
Mm-hmm. See, man, that's a good story. You've never stopped grinding.
Oh yeah,
either on the dance floor or in the corporate bank room.
Come on now, man. Come on now.
Hey, people don't know. That's the beautiful part about this show. You just never know what somebody's going to, reveal.
Yeah, I loved it, man. And I try to teach my kids how to dance, but they just say, "Daddy can't dance." So I just like, all right, you do whatever.
You're a professional. I mean, people paid for your service as a dancer.
Thank you. They ain't trying to hear that. Kids ain't trying to hear that. You let them learn on their own until they come and ask you.
So Jerri, what type of advice would you have for the young entrepreneurs out there who are wanting to start a business? What kind of advice would you give them, the young person that could be listening to this who is trying to find out what they want to do, but they don't know, what do you want to tell them? What would you tell them?
I think the first thing is, right, you have to start. You're not going to get to a point of, success or, bringing in some type of revenue if you don't start. So, you got to at least start the process. I think, it was tough at the beginning for us even, because we had a great idea, but we didn't know where to start. But we said, you know what, let's at least try to do something each day to help us reach our goal. Take it one day at a time. You're not going to get it in 1 week. You're not going to get it in 1 month. But know if you continue to grind, you will get to where you want to be. If you need someone on your side, there's a lot of people out there. Hell, you can reach out to me if you have questions. There's a lot of people out there willing to give you advice or help you through things. But you have to ask. You have to ask and be okay with asking and be okay with no and failure, and it's going to happen. No one at success has just gotten there with all yeses and all, hunky-dory. Hey, it's working out. Know that a no is coming. Know that you got to grind. So I think, there's a couple things in there that I would recommend through the process of being an entrepreneur that, is okay.
Don't you think some of the failures too help get you to where you are and appreciate where you are, but also keep grinding forward as well? Yeah. Failures are good. Some people look at that. I think there's a saying like failing forward. You'd rather have 10 failures and that one success than never try at all.
Correct. I think, the one thing for me, every time I fail, I always learn something, right? It's a teaching moment. What happened during this process that allowed it to not work? Okay, let me pivot some things, let me change some things, and let me make a couple steps forward. Right, let me fall forward based on these teachings and failures that happen.
Is there any sort of apparel designer that you guys look up to or is an inspiration for you guys?
There's several. I think a company called Stamped out in California. They're a good one. Another one's going to be. There's a lot. I think just even, Tommy Hilfiger, looking at him and his collection, knowing that he's really paying attention to detail when he does his lines and releases stuff is awesome. I think there's a lot of companies out there that you can look up to kind of gauge where you want to start or where you want to even get to.
Where do you see the company in 5 years? What's the vision?
Well, it's tough now, right? Because before this whole pandemic, I think it was, where can we open up other stores? Because I think we want to give our customers what they want. One of the things they want is another store, because we have people driving here from, right at South Carolina, North Carolina border to our store. Even though you can order online, some people want to be able to feel the product, want to be able to try on the product, want to experience what they've heard about or what they've experienced through online shopping, but they want to experience it in person. So I think before this pandemic, we were talking about where can we open up our second location at. That's on hold, obviously, now. But I think it's really growing our business through this pandemic and figuring that out. But I think, I don't want to say open up another store is out of the question. It's just we have to make sure we do it the right way at this point, right?
Yeah, these last 6 months, 4 months have really kind of changed the landscape of how anybody's going to be doing business moving forward. I mean, you got to think now, we're doing a podcast on a Zoom call instead of us being in person, and we're doing meetings for our professional jobs during the day this way. I mean, think of all the brick and mortar stores that might be empty that used to be office buildings.
Sure.
One thing I think is pretty interesting, even though as we've moved to like technology, AI and stuff like that, there are still those people who still want to go into a store and they want to touch that material, that tactile sensation. They want to try that shirt on, that pair of shoes on, that hat on. You can order something on, especially a hat. I mean, I got a little funky head, so I just can't pick up any hat and put it on and it looks right. Okay.
Sure, yeah.
I got a little pea head, so I have to put it on, and I got these big old ears, so it might not look right. Okay. So I don't order hats offline. If I can't put it on my head, I'm not going to buy it.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't understand how people do Carvana, where you just order your car out of a vending machine.
Yeah, I can't do it.
I need to drive this thing.
Yeah, man.
Can't be ordering a minivan out of a vending machine.
I think it was good for them, right? Because the pandemic, now everybody has to figure out how to shift that direction.
Right.
I think before the pandemic, we were we were lucky, right? When we started the business, everything was online. So when this happened, it was easy for people to migrate back to being online.
Sure.
Now, don't get me wrong, when people didn't know about us, they just came to the store, and they still want to come to the store to, touch, feel, experience, all that. But it was easy for them to say, okay, I'm not going to go in the store for all the social distancing, and I don't want to, affect their customers or their employees. Let me order online, because now we're doing free shipping for all products. We're doing, returns. You got to mail them in. Yeah. So we are, at this point, we're pivoting to try to figure out through this pandemic.
I gotcha. So do you guys make all of your stuff, do you have a warehouse where you have people who are making the shirts and whatnot? Or is that something that maybe somewhere down the line you guys would do that?
As far as making our own products, I don't think we'll ever get to the point where we're screen printing or we're sewing everything. There are people out there more equipped than us to do that.
Gotcha.
And that would take a whole bunch of manpower and a whole bunch of time.
Mm-hmm.
We like the design process. We like the creative process. And we give those ideas to the people that we know that can execute and get us our product we want.
Gotcha. All right, Jerry, tonight is the first night of baseball. So okay. I know you're a baseball fan. I'm a baseball fan. We actually grew up as kids playing on the same team a few times. People may not know this about you, but you used to be a catcher.
Yeah, I caught for a little bit.
You're a little dude. I'm a little dude.
I caught before I, hit high school, when I was like the average size of everybody. And then when everybody grew up, I said, okay, I got to change positions. I can't be a catcher.
Well, even me as a little dude back then, maybe average, well, slightly below average, I knew that there was nothing that I needed behind that plate. But not you, not Jerry. I mean, the equipment was so big it would hang off of you.
Yep.
But you would go back there and you would catch, man. Kudos to you.
I loved it, man. Growing up, I loved baseball. My brother played baseball. My brother played baseball at Lenore Ryan.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he played outfield at Lenore Ryan. So I grew up watching him play baseball, and I tell people it's funny. I can play baseball. I'd rather play baseball than watch baseball. Now I'll watch baseball every once in a while.
Yep. But
I like to play baseball. And I actually played in adult league here in Charlotte in my early 30s. Yeah, man, enjoyed it.
Was it aluminum bat or wooden bat?
It was wooden bats.
Ooh, how was that?
It was good, man. Like, it's whatever. I could hit, so I wasn't worried about it. I'm like, okay, I got to switch my thought process, but it was good, man. Made the All-Star team my first year playing.
Get out.
Yeah, man.
See, you still got it.
I still got a little bit, man. I got to use it while I can.
Dude, you know what I've got? Torn hamstrings. That's what I've got.
What?
Yo, man, I'm done.
No more sports for you, man?
Nah, I mean, I still try to stay in shape and athletic and whatnot. I mean, you know, if I got to go up there and lace them up, I'd love to. But, you know, having like you, 2 jobs and running a podcast and have 3-year-old twins, they're just sitting time to go out and do that. Do that. So I'm hoping, though, because, see, I had kids later in life. I'm 40. Okay. And what I'm afraid of is I'm going to be the old dude out there playing with the kids, and I literally pull a hamstring or tear a hammy or something. You know,
we don't need that.
We don't need that. We don't need that. But I'm still trying to, you know, stay fast, still quick.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, that's in my back pocket, man. That's in my back pocket too. You know, we were small and fast. That was
it. Hey, man, well, look, I won't keep you. It's a weeknight. I appreciate you so much for coming on the Appetite for Discussion podcast, man. It's great catching up. If you're ever up in the Statesboro area, I don't know how often you come up here, man, but I'd love to get together and have a beer and let's catch up.
Yeah, definitely, man. Thanks for having me, man. Enjoyed it.
Absolutely. And everybody, check these guys out at 704shop.com, and you can look them up on Instagram at 704shop, and same thing on Facebook, right, Jerry?
Yeah, Facebook and Twitter, same tag.
Same tag. All right, everybody. Appreciate you. We'll see you again next time, and respect your sex ed teacher.
Thanks, man.
See you, buddy.
Later.